Good afternoon. This is Akashvani. I'm Anuja Kumar with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for use of technology to bridge data divide across the globe. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar says supply chain disruptions, prolonged debt crisis, energy, food and fertilizer security are key challenges facing the world. Comptroller and Auditor General of India, Girish Chandra Murmu, calls for adoption of artificial intelligence into audit processes. UPSC Civil Services Preliminary Examination 2023 results announced. Extremely severe cyclonic storm Biparjoy to cross Saurashtra and Kutch coast in Gujarat on Thursday. IMD warns of heavy rain in the region. And in badminton, HS Pranoy to lead India's charge at BWF Indonesia Super 1000 tournament in Jakarta. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that democratization of technology is an important tool to bridge data divide in the world. He said digitalization has brought about a revolutionary change in India and pointed out that high-quality data is critical for meaningful policy making, efficient resource allocation, and effective public service delivery. Addressing the G20 Development Ministers meeting in Varanasi today via video message, the Prime Minister said technology is being used as a tool to empower people, make data accessible, and ensure inclusivity.
High quality data is critical for meaningful policy making, efficient resource allocation, and effective public service delivery. Democratization of technology is an important tool to help bridge the data divide. In India, digitalization has brought about a revolutionary change. Technology is being used as a tool to empower people, make data accessible, and ensure inclusivity.
Mr. Modi said development is a core issue for the global south countries and they must send a strong message to the world about the action plan required to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs.
Our efforts must be comprehensive, inclusive, fair, and sustainable. We should increase investment in fulfilling the SDGs and find solutions to address the debt risk faced by many countries. Multilateral financial institutions should be reformed to expand the eligibility criteria, ensuring that finance is accessible to those in need. In India, we have made efforts to improve people's lives in more than 100 aspirational districts which were pockets of underdevelopment.
The Prime Minister said that since global south countries were severely impacted by the disruptions created due to the COVID pandemic, while geopolitical tensions were responsible for food, fuel and fertilizer crisis, and in such conditions, the decisions these countries make are significant for humanity as a whole. The Prime Minister highlighted the significance of traditional Indian thought, which promotes a pro-planet lifestyle.
In India, we hold great respect for rivers, trees, mountains, and all elements of nature. Traditional Indian thought promotes a pro-planet lifestyle. Last year, along with the UN Secretary General, I launched Mission Life, Lifestyle for Environment. I am glad that this group is working to develop a set of high-level principles on life. This would be a significant contribution to climate action.
Giving a model of development to the G20 countries, the Prime Minister said India has made efforts to improve people's lives in more than 100 aspirational districts which were pockets of underdevelopment. Mr. Modi underscored that these aspirational districts have now emerged as the catalysts of growth in the country, as he urged the G20 development ministers to study this model of development. Underlining the importance of gender equality and women empowerment in achieving the SDGs, the Prime Minister mentioned that India is not limited to women empowerment but extends to women-led development.
Gender equality and women's empowerment are crucial to achieve the SDGs. In India, we are not limited to women's empowerment. Ours is a women-led development. Women are setting the agenda for development and are also the agents of growth and change. I urge you to adopt a game-changing action plan for women-led development.
External Affairs Minister S. Shankar has said that the prospects of a global economic recovery remain dim amid supply chain disruptions, prolonged debt crisis, and pressures on energy, food, and fertilizer security. He called for a united global approach to deal with the challenges. Addressing the G20 Development Ministers Conclave in Varanasi, he also said that India has put forward an ambitious 7-year action plan for accelerating progress on the Sustainable Development Goals that presented an integrated and inclusive roadmap for G20 actions.
The SDG agenda is a landmark not only in its universality, in that it applies to all countries, but also in its integrity, in that it can only be successful as a comprehensive agenda. Unfortunately, since its adoption in 2015, not only have we seen the political momentum wither, but we've also witnessed fragmentation in international priorities, wherein some goals are deemed more important than others.
Comptroller and Auditor General CAG of India, Girish Chandra Murmu, has called for the adoption of artificial intelligence or AI into auditing processes to increase their effectiveness. Cautioning against the perils of AI, he, however, underlined that it is essential that the policymakers put in place the processes to responsibly harness the potential of this technology. Mr. Murmu was delivering the inaugural address at the second summit of the Empowerment Group of the Supreme Audit Institutions of G20 in Panji this morning. He said the Supreme Audit Institutions have a crucial role to play in the application of artificial intelligence and the blue economy to ensure good governance, transparency and accountability in auditing. Mr. Murmu stated that their all-pervasive and cross-cutting nature necessitate close cooperation among the Supreme Audit Institutions for knowledge sharing and capacity building. Highlighting the role of the blue economy, he said it is essential for stabilizing the climate, spurring economic development and attaining the Sustainable Development Goals.
The blue economy has diverse components that include not only the traditional ocean industries such as fisheries, tourism and maritime transport, but also new and emerging activities such as offshore renewable energy, aquaculture, seabed extractive activities and marine biotechnology and bioprospecting.
This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at Air News Alerts. As the NDA government completes 9 years in office, Akashvani News brings you a series of special stories on the initiatives taken by the government. Today we take a look at the National Hydrogen Mission, which is aimed at making India a hub for the production and export of green hydrogen, and thus being a self-reliant and energy-independent nation.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the National Hydrogen Energy Mission on August 15, 2021 with a larger aim of making the nation energy independent and achieving net zero emission by 2070. The Union Cabinet approved the National Green Hydrogen Mission on 4th January 2022 with the aim of developing a green hydrogen production capacity of 5 million metric tons and an associated renewable energy capacity addition of 125 gigawatts by 2030. Green hydrogen can potentially reduce 3.6 gigatons of carbon emissions by 2050 according to Midday report. The mission aims to increase the export of green hydrogen and simultaneously reduce fossil fuel imports of over 1 lakh crore. The initial outlay for the mission is rupees 19,744 crore in strategic interventions for green hydrogen transition program, for various pilot projects and for research and development. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the National Green Hydrogen Mission is a landmark step towards sustainable development and creating investment opportunities for our youth. Mayusha for Akashvani News from Thiruvananthapuram.
The Union Public Service Commission or UPSC today declared the prelims result for Civil Services Exam 2023. A total of 14,624 candidates have been recommended by the Commission. The candidates can check their results at the official website upsc.gov.in. The preliminary exam was conducted on 28th of May. The mains examination is scheduled to be held from 15th of September. Extremely severe cyclonic storm Biparjoy is likely to cross Saurashtra and Kutch coast in Gujarat on Thursday. The India Meteorological Department or IMD has warned that the areas will witness wind speed reaching 125 to 135 km per hour, gusting to 150 km per hour. Talking to Akashvani News, IMD DG M. Mahapatra said that the Met Department has issued a yellow alert for Saurashtra and Kutch coasts in Gujarat.
We expect that it will cross Saurashtra and Pakistan coast between Mandvi in Gujarat and Karachi in Pakistan around forenoon of 15 as a very severe cyclone storm with wind speed of 125 to 135 km per hour, gusting to 150 km per hour. On influence, heavy rainfall activity will commence on 14th over Saurashtra and Kutch area. Heavy rainfall can exceed 20 cm in 24 hours on 15, and hence we have given the warning to fishermen not to venture into sea till 15.
The Met Department has issued a warning for heavy rain in Saurashtra and Kutch region of Gujarat. More from our correspondent.
The Meteorological Department has warned of very heavy rainfall and strong winds with a speed of 120 to 135 km per hour, gusting to 145 km per hour from Thursday morning in the coastal areas of Saurashtra, Kutch, Devbhoomi, Dwarka, Porbandar, Jamnagar, Rajkot, Junagadh and Morbi district of Gujarat. Ms. Mohanty, Regional Director of Meteorological, said to Akashvani that the impact of this possible storm is likely to be seen in 6 coastal districts and some other areas of the state, mostly from June 14.
सी कंडीशन मोस्टली आज से लेके 14 तारीख 15 तारीख तक हाई टू फेनोमेनल रहने का संभावना है.
Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel held a video conference with the districts from the State Emergency Operations Center and took stock of the situation. Bharat Devmani, Akashvani News, Ahmedabad.
Monsoon arrived in Maharashtra yesterday. Regional Meteorological Center, Mumbai, has informed that partly cloudy sky with possibility of thunder shower in Mumbai city and suburbs are expected today. Occasional strong winds reaching to 45 to 55 km per hour are also predicted. Passengers at Mumbai airport are facing some issues due to delayed or cancelled flights. Air India has claimed that inclement weather conditions and the temporary closure of a runway at the Mumbai airport, in addition to other consequential factors, have resulted in delays and cancellation of some of their flights. Shuttler H.S. Pranoy will be in the spotlight at the Indonesia Open, a BWF Super 1000 tournament beginning tomorrow. The world number 8 will be up against Kenta Nishimoto of Japan, and a first-round win is likely to pit him against China's Shi Yuqi in the second round. Meanwhile, double Olympic medalist P.V. Sindhu and 2021 World Championship silver medalist Kidambi Shrikant will also look for impressive starts to their campaign. The BWF World Tour is divided into 6 levels, including World Tour Finals, 4 Super 1000, 6 Super 750, 7 Super 500 and 11 Super 300. A 3-day yoga workshop for Sri Lankan Armed Forces commenced in Colombo today. The workshop is organized by Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center in Colombo with the objective of fostering physical and mental well-being among the Sri Lankan Armed Forces. This event is a part of the 50-day prelude leading up to the highly anticipated International Day of Yoga. Taking place in the 5 major cities across Sri Lanka, the workshop offers an invaluable opportunity for armed forces personnel to enhance their physical fitness, relieve stress, and cultivate inner peace. Domestic benchmark indices were trading in the green with marginal gains in the afternoon trade. The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange rose 162 points or 0.26% to trade at 62,787. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange was also up 55 points or 0.3% to trade at 18,618 a short while ago. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for use of technology to bridge data divide across the globe. External Affairs Minister S. Shankar says supply chain disruptions, prolonged debt crisis, energy, food and fertilizer security are key challenges facing the world. Controller and Auditor General of India Girish Chandra Murmu calls for adoption of artificial intelligence into audit processes. UPSC Civil Services Preliminary Examination 2023 results announced. And in badminton, HS Pranoy to lead India's charge at BWF Indonesia Super 1000 tournament in Jakarta. And with that, we end the midday news.